Prebiotics is again a very popular source of alternatives to AGPs. These are typically non-digestible fibers that are fermented and used as a feed source by the microbiota in the gut. They're usually used by benign bacteria, or the good bugs, as we refer to them. And what we hope to achieve is that by supporting the good bugs, that they would suppress the growth of pathogens by something called competitive inhibition. But we also want them to provide us with specific metabolites in the gut. Now, these bacteria typically produce volatile fatty acids, mostly acetic acid, propionic and butyric acid. Now, these organic acids have been identified as key drivers in the development of the gut. They've been identified as very important for the development of the villi and the maturation of the villi, especially in young animals. That's why when we use these volatile fatty acids in young animals, we can get a very good response in terms of gut health and establishing a healthy gut from an early age. It must be considered that different sources of prebiotics can have different effects. As an example, malon oligosaccharides are primarily utilized in the gut, whereas FOS, or fructooligosaccharides, are primarily utilized in the small intestine. So if you want an effect in the hindgut, you must choose your source carefully. Beta-glucans are another source of prebiotics that are very popular. They have a slightly different mechanism of action. The beta-glucans are fermented to a certain degree, but primarily what the beta-glucans do is they serve as a substrate for Salmonella and E. coli that bind to the beta-glucan, and thereby they are passed out in the feces. Probiotics are live organisms that we feed directly to the bird. They're also known as DFMs, or direct-fed microbials. The intention with DFMs is to modify the existing microbiota population in the gut. Now, there are strategic applications at specific times that can be very effective in supporting gut health and gut development. One of these opportunities are, for instance, in poultry, directly after hatching. The gut has not been colonized at that point by any bacteria. Normally, the chick will have access to the hen, and the hen would basically inoculate the chick. But what we have in modern systems, we have a unique opportunity to inoculate the chick with whatever we want. And this is a very good opportunity to utilize in commercial poultry production. Of course, after antibiotic treatment, antibiotics are very effective against any bacteria, and therefore it suppresses the entire population of the gut. By using a good probiotic, we can modulate the exact populations in the gut after antibiotic treatment. We can also use them to control or prevent certain intestinal issues and diseases. We're thinking, for instance, about enteritis. So what we can do there, by providing a probiotic, we can change the populations, and we can utilize competitive inhibition to reduce the pathogen load in the gut. We can also use probiotics to enhance gut health and to strengthen the immune system. Now, specific bacterial strains, and we're thinking of lactobacillus, for instance, that do produce specific types of volatile fatty acids. They are quite important for the development of the gut, as we mentioned earlier. And other strains like bacillus, for instance, directly stimulates the immune system. By stimulating the immune system, we can strengthen it, and we can also strengthen the gut lining. Organic acids, as I've mentioned before, these are important for the development of the gut, the development of the villi, especially in the young animal. So let's take the chick as an Example, if we can provide these organic acids as soon as possible to the chicken after hatching, we give the villi and the gut best opportunity to develop quickly. Organic acids has been shown to increase the rate of maturity of the villi. Now the reason that that is important is the longer the villi, the more time the epithelial cells have, the enterocytes have, to reach a mature stage. And once they reach the top of the villi, they are mature and they're very effective in absorbing nutrients. As they reach the top, they're sloughed off. So a shorter villi means there are less chance and less opportunity for absorption because of the immaturity of the enterocytes. Organic acids are also used as acidifiers to enhance digestion, specifically in the crop. And many acidifiers, water-based acidifiers, are basically organic acids. Key thing to remember about organic acids is, where do you want the organic acid to go? Where do you want it to be effective? And we want the organic acid to be effective in the gut. We don't want it to be exposed to gastric digestion. And that's why it's important to use a coated source of organic acids, especially if you're using butyric acid or lauric acid. You want it to reach the small intestine and eventually the large intestine, because in the small intestine, that's where it will have its effect on assisting the development of the villi and protecting the gut, and in the large intestine, that's where it will have its pathogen reducing functions.